Hi. And I got a hair on my lips. I'm sorry. This is Samantha from Soul Pathways. Happy Monday. I just wanted to come on quickly and I do mean quick, just a quick message. Oh, look at those up there. Gotta love chemtrails, right? I was reading something the other day that said that they were, somebody said that they were attached to allergies somehow. I don't know. Myth? You tell me. Nevertheless, wanted to come on and speak a little more about my unconventional love story. Just a little bit. It's pretty cold. It's like 43 degrees. I'm literally sitting inside a sweat jacket. So I don't know how long I'm going to make it, but I wanted to come out to the water. I'm in complete denial because it's so beautiful. I still had to come out because, you know, it's 44 today and tomorrow it's going to be, what, 70? So I'm like, only here would it be like that, right? So, yeah. Again, I'm Samantha from Soul Pathways, and I have a truly unconventional love story. My story is about my spiritual journey back to myself. It's a story about all sorts of love, but mainly my spiritual love with God, my highest power, which led me to learn to love myself, and then it directed me into my soul purpose, which activated my love of humanity. And as I began to learn to love me fully, I know this is leading me to romance. So the love within, you know, a two-person unit. So this is quite the journey that I'm on. But moreover, my story, the depth of my story is quite significant and different in that my life was, as I've explained almost in every video, very different, challenging and traumatic. With all the abuse that I had to suffer and all the trials and tribulations that I encountered and managed to work through, while also dedicating a lot of my time to studies and bettering myself, healing myself. I was quite the busy soul. I along the way found out and realized and seemed to be coming around to the idea of my whole soul purpose. I know what I'm here to do, and I'm on my way to doing it. And part of that is sharing my testimony, which is what I'm trying to do now through my life story with the world. But also the sheer fact of the matter is not just to share my testimony, but to really make sure the world understands that the whole reason I made it through any of it was through God. You're looking at somebody who, and before I even go there, I do want to say I do cuss. So if you have delicate ears, you might not want to listen to my videos. I don't do much else, but it is one thing I do. I do cuss. I do. So there's that. I am an earth angel. I'm a chosen one. of the 144. I'm an anointed child of God. I'm a truth speaker, and I've been somebody who has walked with God since birth. I have walked a road alone and been through a lot of things, and part of my spiritual journey has been shared with me, or part of my spiritual purpose, has been shared with me, and that's to share my healed traumas as I heal them with you guys. And I wanted to, as I shared in yesterday's video, I found myself even almost begging to do that in my 20s and 30s. Sometimes during the events or the time periods that these traumas were happening to me, the pain was so immense that I found myself just begging upward to my Father in tears, to begging and praying and pleading to be able to share it one day, making promises, doing whatever, talking, because I had nobody to talk to cry on. That was one of the points, one of the things about my journey. And most chosen children they walk alone. I'm somebody who didn't know much about chosen. I didn't know what a chosen of the 144 was. I didn't know a lot of this. I was shared this stuff. Even today, when I meditated, I was shown a picture of myself receiving, because I'm good at public speaking, and I always seem to get visuals of being on a stage, and a lot of visuals of microphones. And today again, I was given a visual of being handed it was wrapped in some things. I won't say everything, but it didn't come out first as a microphone. It came out first as there was like this gilded hand piece, really ornate and then it was like a blade, a short blade, and then it morphed into the head of a microphone, and I wound up putting it on my chest, and I hugged it, and I started crying in my meditation. And it came direct from God. I mean, I was at the summit of a mountain, and there was like a staircase, and there were people all the way up it, and I had made it to the top, and there were people trying to get up it, and not many were succeeding. I had succeeded. Well, here's why I share this with you, because I don't often share my meditations. After that meditation, I was just researching some things, and across my feed came just some buzzwords that caught my attention. When things catch my attention, they usually mean something. And the buzzwords were mark of destiny. I'm like, what's the mark of destiny? What is that? What's the mark of destiny? Is that really a mark? And I was just curious, and I asked my Father, which is God. I call him Dad. Best dad ever. Because I don't have family, folks. He is my family. Him, Divine Mother, Jesus, all my angels, ancestors, they're my family. I talk with them and everything. in my hardest moments. They're who helped me when I cried. They're the ones that celebrated my birthday with me. They're the ones that were there during the holidays. That's what I got. Nevertheless, I asked, what is the mark of destiny? And next thing I know, I'm going down a rabbit hole. Because I don't know what the mark of destiny is. I really don't. I Googled what is the mark of destiny because I was told to Google it or to look it up. They didn't use the word Google. And so I put in what is the mark of destiny. And I started getting stuff related to Pokemon. And I'm like, okay, this can't be correct. And next thing I know, I had heard dig deeper. I kept digging. And I get some information from the Smithsonian Museum. If I could ever get the words out. And it's talking about like they call it Lance of Christ or something. I wouldn't know. Lance of Mercy, or Lance of Destiny. That's what they called it, Lance of Destiny, I think. And next thing I know, I'm like thinking, I'm seeing this thing going into Jesus's side. And I don't know why I know that. But I don't know. I've never read the Bible. But I seen it here. And I hadn't read anything. And I go down, I start scrolling and down to Google, and one of the ads, or not ads, but one of the articles, it's like, yeah, the blade, the Lance of Destiny is this blade that supposedly somebody stabbed Jesus in the side with. So I said, I'm oh my dying in my room. I'm surprised people didn't hear me. I said, Dad, I started seeing words like people aren't sure if this is real or fake, or is the mark of destiny real? And so I asked, I said, is it real? Show me a sign. Is this real? Yes, was the answer. And a bird flew right by my window, heading towards the west. Russia. I didn't get much after that. But it was also called the Spear of Destiny. So not just the lance of, or the mark, but the spear. And supposedly there's some marking. But here's the thing that got me. Even prior to all of even seeing any of this, hearing about it, knowing anything, I meditated and I received a small knife at the top of a mountaintop. Hello? Freaked me out a little, and I'm getting chills up my legs. And I'm hearing a woodpecker. So where is the kingdom spouse? I just saw a mating, a male and a female duck. So I know he's close. Hi, I know you're close. So I don't know. That came up today too, the woodpecker, and I was told he's close. And I've got myself, I'm thinking that's a sand crane, which is family. He was here and then he flew away, and I told him he was safe and to come back. And so he swung back around and came back. There he is. So he came back around. Smart. Because usually they're very, very, they get very scared, these white sand cranes. They don't like people typically. They don't, because, I don't know. Last year I couldn't get them to sit at this pond with me for nothing. Nevertheless, so that happened. That freaked me out. So I'm aware, there was a smallish conversation regarding twin flames today. Now, I'm not going into whether we believe in twin flames, the journey, none of that. That's not what this is about. This is about my story. But I am going to touch on the journey of the divine masculines right now. Especially the ones that are trying to catch up to divine feminines, that they're very far behind because they didn't do their healing work, and the I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at that. I got male and female mallard duck here. He's chasing her like crazy. It was cute. But the thing that was being chatted on was the career. The divine masculines are in a bit of an upheaval now, because the question has to do, their confidence is being rattled in the career arena, because they focused a ton of time climbing a ladder that they don't think career-wise is where they should have been focusing their time or attention, and it's making them feel some kind of way. And this is what I gotta say to this. Not me, divine guidance, actually. So I'm gonna step aside and I'm gonna let divine pull through, because I want all of him and none of me on this. Like anything, wherever you dedicate your skills and your time to develop the skills, wherever you dedicate your time and the skills that you've mastered, you can place them anywhere. And what do I mean by that? If you find that you're in a place where you're having to change one career for another, or you're going to be switching careers because you're at a place of identity shifting, you're changing due to a dark night, a spiritual shift for you, and your current career no longer fulfills you in ways that it once did. All skill sets are transferable. Do not let the shift shake you. Stand tall and confident, and know that everything in every place you've been was exactly where you needed to be. The journey that you've walked was the exact journey it had to be, and still is. You must understand by now, like me, even all the horrible things that I've been through, they equated out to strength and certain other wonderful traits, resiliency, and other qualities and skill sets that are redeemable within any career. Keep rising up. Understand that if you are questioning your confidence, it is you who questions it, and you must wonder or ask to yourself, why is that? What within me makes me question my own worth? Because God sees you, His child, as perfect. He created you as a singular solo masterpiece after all. And you are in the making as a masterpiece, just as I am. And this is no race. In fact, the fact that you're capable of slamming on your brakes in the middle of your life, downshifting, then upshifting, and then reevaluating, and having to make some of the hardest decisions you've ever had to make, says a lot about your character. And you should be really commending yourself for that. Are you perfect? No. Have you hurt people? Sure. Have people hurt you though? Yeah. It's called life. It's called life. What are you going through? I'd say something akin to a midlife crisis. I studied that stuff in my degree, in the counseling degree. It's never killed anybody. Stick with it. Don't lose faith in yourself. Keep the eye on the prize. Set a goal or two, and take at least one step a day towards it. And you'll be alright. Facts. Also celebrate your victories, no matter how small they are. Even if it's just taking yourself off a pop. That's what I did. It's small, but that's what I was capable of doing it right now. I no longer drink any pop. It was a crazy habit. I was never a pop drinker, and one day I just started drinking pop. What the hell? So I just said one day, I'm getting off of pop. So I got off of pop. So, nevertheless, I'm back to iced tea and water. And I drink a coffee a day. And today I had a Frappuccino, which is an amazing treat that I love, as I have more money. Which, no, I can't say that, because I wouldn't have one every day. It's probably not good for me, but moderation is key. Nevertheless, back to you, less of me. Don't be, somebody who sits around and nitpicks. When it comes to your career, don't overthink it. Overthinking is your enemy, man. Trust me, I know. You're coming from an overthinking extraordinaire. And sometimes an overfeeling one too. Can you imagine when you're doing both? and you just want to give yourself a knock yourself out. You're like, oh God, stop talking, stop thinking, stop feeling. Oh my God. Stop getting messages. And oh, it's just crazy. But nevertheless, worry gets you nowhere. You know what you need is just positive self-talk, and to understand that anything that you've acquired to date regarding yourself and your career can be put to good use. Nothing's a waste. You're talking to somebody who has the worst resume in the world. Why? I've taken on multiple jobs. You're looking at somebody who's never been able or allowed to self-actualize, not once in my life, and I'm 50 this year. Can you imagine how many positions I've had? Many. However, that sure does make me very interested and very, 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 very talented. Maybe overqualified for everything, but I'm qualified for something. That's why I'm a blueprint. I'm gonna have to make my own damn career because everything out there I'm too overqualified for, obviously. Maybe the same for you. Keep that in mind. Especially if you're tagged to some other person like me, then you definitely are. So that was the topic of conversation, and there's the confirmation. Okay, we got two geeses that are talking to one another. It looks like they found each other. We got two geeses that literally just found one another. If that's not confirmation. Anyway, I was hearing the other day that geese were a sign, and then today it was woodpeckers are a sign, and I actually saw a woodpecker right down the way, not yesterday but the day before. I've never seen a woodpecker here at this pond, but just down the way I saw a woodpecker. So that was amazing. Nevertheless, yeah, I think that's what I got. Do we have anything else to share about Divine Masculine's career? Or confidence? Or Dark Knight? Okay, so here's the thing about, okay. So for heaven's sakes. For Divine Masculines trying to come together with Divine Feminines right now, if you have a Divine Feminine who's not paying you any attention, there's a reason for that. Come again? Okay. It's because you still are connected to people you've been asked to release. That's what I'm being told. So yeah, I'm not sure what that means, but I will say this: when I looked up at those chemtrails in the sky, one had 2 lines and one had 1 line. So those lines typically mean, for me, they're like, they represent life paths to me sometimes, and that's the way I was seeing them today. And they were merging down yonder, that way, towards the sun. But up here, one of those lines had 2 still, and 1 was singular. I'm single. I've been single for a very long time. Over a decade. Trust me, I feel every singular moment. Especially with the gang stalking, it's been ridiculous. But that's a message for some. If that's you, take it and run with it. So you're being asked to hold space and grace and bite your tongue or whatever else you need to do. And go, I just heard, get into prayer. I guess, I guess Dad wants to talk to you. Whatever your higher power is. I don't know. I don't know how you talk. So, I talk to Dad like I talk to you, but everybody does it different. I've never been somebody who sat around when I just always just talk to God the way I talk to people since I was little. Maybe that's how it all started, but I knew how to pray, and I would pray to Him that way too. But when you spend more time with God than you do other people, your hands grow tired of being clasped together all the time. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm literally losing feeling in my fingers. I think I'm gonna head. I gotta make some dinner for my kid. But, yeah, I know. I didn't even talk about me at all, did I? Not really much to. Well, I could. No, there really isn't much. No, I think I shared what I need to share for today. Is there something else I need to share? I don't think so. I mean, you know, I just got thrown off with the meditation, how, you know, I prophesy something I didn't even know about, and then I did it again with seeing Jesus get stabbed in the side before I even knew. That just, it blew my mind. I always get, I don't know, I always get, with my skill set, I'm still somebody who gets tickled pink with my own stuff. Because I know it's not me, it's God. And it's like, oh God, that just really happened. And did. So I'm still wondering though, because I never really got around to the part with the Mark of Destiny, what it means. Because I was handed it in meditation and it turned into a microphone. So, there's that. Just saying. Yeah, I officially can't feel my hands. So, I really can't feel my hand. I'm gonna, yeah. I'm gonna have to, oh man, I can't. Wowee. There they go. Oh, You didn't go far though. We've got some separation anxiety for these geese. Never mind. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your Monday. I love you, and I definitely will talk to you again tomorrow, okay? May blessings flow to you and through you and always, always. Bye.